This is your Wall Street wake-up call. Apple is expected to post its third straight quarterly decline in iPhone sales volumes when it releases earnings on Tuesday. Here with reaction is Michael Ingram, a market analyst with BGC Partners based in London. So Michael, the question now is, can some of Apple's other businesses, particularly services, make up for some of the weakness in the iPhone? What do you think?
Yes, Scott, that's certainly the hope, and it's, of course, something that Tim Cook was very keen to draw attention to in what was otherwise a disastrous second quarter earnings release. So I think he's going to point to very strong growth into the services business, such as Apple Music, Apple Care. I noticed that the Apple Pay rollout in Japan has not been without incident. I understand that the system is effectively overloaded, so I suspect he's going to get some interesting, if not barbed questions from analysts later on today on what's going on over there. But yeah, I mean, I think it's quite clear that the handset market, particularly at the top end, is maturing, and Apple going forward is going to have to diversify its business, and services is going to be a key component of that portfolio.
Well, that hardware business is maturing, but I've seen analysts actually raise their forecast for iPhone sales this quarter. I've seen as many as 46 million. And, you know, when we hear a number like that, I mean, how bad could the hardware space be? Not to mention their biggest rival, Samsung, is dealing with this embarrassing production halt of its new device.
Well, yes, indeed, although, of course, Samsung's troubles won't, I think, have a material impact on the quarter, which is just reporting. I mean, this quarter that where we're going to see the numbers is certainly going to benefit from the fact that the iPhone 7 launch has effectively come a week earlier. So the quarter on year-on-year comps are certainly going to be somewhat flatter for that reason. It looks as though the carrier promotions in a number of countries are doing extremely well. On the other hand, I've seen data to suggest that iPhone activations in China, key market, of course, for Apple, were down by almost a third in the third quarter. And of course, you know, within the mix of iPhones, you know, to what extent are we going to see a dilutive effect on average selling prices? Market's looking at something like $625 from the SE, for instance, which has been an unexpected hit, and also take into account elements such as a stronger dollar, which has caused Apple to try and push through price increases in a number of countries. You have to wonder to what extent you're going to start to get some pushback from consumers. And of course, never forget that there's also competition. Yes, the Note 7 is rest in peace, but I was very interested to read about the specifications around the Google Pixel XL. That looks as though that's a nice bit of kit, and I'm sure it's going to be quite a challenge for the Apple iPhone range going forward.
And maybe in the next quarter, in 3 months, when Apple reports again, that'll give us a better picture of whether or not the iPhone 7 can really, you know, bring Apple's hardware business back to growth. We'll certainly be watching that. And just quickly before we run out of time, what's your take on the stock? Of course, it's had a nice run over the past 3 months when it last reported earnings.
Yeah, I think there's still upside potential for it. I mean, certainly there's a very large base of 2-year-old plus iPhone 6s out there, which could do with a refresh. The question is to what extent are perhaps supply problems with the iPhone 7 actually going to hold people off from looking at the mega refresh that we're all expecting next year? You know, maybe we're going to skip the iPhone 8 completely, and we're going to go for the iPhone 10, newly bendable with lovely LCD crystal display. So yeah, I think the business is heading in the right direction. If you look at the analyst consensus out there, they think 12 months forward, this is a stock which is worth $130 plus. All
right, we'll be watching. Michael Ingram from BGC Partners. Michael, always great to see you. Thank you.
Pleasure.
I'm Scott Gamm, and you're watching The Street.